It's that, oh, now you said that I'm gonna make it. See, you gonna see me. Just see you a little bit, you know. I'm so glad to be taking them a minute to come on YouTube, baby, because they are. Okay, got you. And it did give a little glare.
Girl, you need to turn on the light.
Don't just let me do it now, girl. We'll be looking nice and look.
Oh, no, I'm just
Hey,
asking.
little creatures now. Let me see. How we can do this anytime? You can see it. I ain't used to doing it. Well, you can see it a little bit. Let's see if I can turn it around while we waiting. I might be able, you think I might be able to get a chance to sit it over there?
If you want to.
It'll be closer towards you. Look, I ain't did no scoot down. She. All right. Hey y'all, hey Miss Karen, hey girl. Yeah, and that's just like the lady thought I had a glare on mine, but this that light. You can turn the bathroom light off if you want to, because it's gonna take your head off. All right, there you go. Okay, well y'all see we trying to get adjusted with the cameras and stuff. Y'all know I ain't no camera crew.
I'm trying to be.
Don't know what to do. And then
that might be a little better.
What? That light?
Mm-hmm. I know you don't want to feel so long.
Yeah, that light, but yeah, we don't turn that light.
Don't go, I'm just
okay. So y'all can see me, but y'all can see her. I'm gonna kind of get back because you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I wanted y'all to talk more, and I wanted her to be able to share whatever she felt the need to share with y'all. She was not with me when I made the YouTube video earlier, letting y'all know what was going on or whatever. Like I told y'all, I had to come over here. Anybody that know me,
my bad.
No, I'm just saying, it's already off.
I know, I'm trying to help us.
You can't. We still you go end up hurting us more than helping us.
Okay.
Yeah. So she has a son that she lost to gun violence. As I told you, stop the first time. She got a son that she lost to gun violence last year, and she's just gonna talk about a few different things. Like I said, we got the chat things on so we can see, and this one would really help, or kind of start with the mothers of grieving mothers of gun violence or questions from parents, because like I said, I looked at it earlier as me just being a gun violence survivor, not as being the parent of losing a child to gun violence. So I'm listening just like y'all. So y'all already know we ain't practice now. We going with the flow. We freestyling and here you go. Y'all feel free to ask, please listen. And bam, there you go. Get the flow. Take over.
Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Akita Jemison. I'm a gun violence advocate as well as a grieving mom. I lost my son last year in July. He was brutally murdered in the Pratt City area and left on side of the road, I-59 Inslee Bush Boulevard. Since that happened, I've just been grieving. I've been trying to find out what steps I need to take as far as just helping the community heal. What we need to do as parents to shed light on our youth about putting guns down, not allowing guns to always be the answer. Just trying to take the city back, neighbor, being neighbor, knowing who you are being neighbors with, just pulling together in a community as one to ensure for 2023 our youth safety. That's a big question, and that's a big step that I'm launching in 2023, and it's called Kavas Movement. I named it that because of my 16-year-old. He was an advocate for youth gun violence as well. I've been doing it about 2 years, and I just decided to start my platform here with Butterfly Nation and see what we can do for the community as far as healing, as far as putting the guns down, as far as being a mediator in the community, and just trying to bring love and support and nurture back to the community, because we're lost as a city because of the youth gun violence. It's been over 174 youth that died in 2022 that we need to try to shed light on. We need to have more events. This needs to be the biggest concern of 2023, is how to stop the violence in the youth. Find out what's going on in the communities, in the home, as far as while these teenagers are just turning to guns, just turning to violence on YouTube, showing guns, drugs, just the songs, the lyrics, the frequency of the music. I just feel like it needs to be stopped. And I feel so compelled after my son's passing just to do something. And I thank God for Butterfly Nation just to come on, and help me, be a support, being an ally, in the community, as far as showing me, helping me, give back to the community, try to heal the community. Because I don't know, I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of the gunshots. I'm tired of the youth dying. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it all, Butterfly Nation. Um,
My mind, Ebony.
Ebony, but I'm sorry, I call her Butterfly Nation because that's part of her organization. And throughout this broadcast, you may hear me saying Butterfly Nation. I'm saying Butterfly Nation because she's an organization who's trying to get her foot in the community and spread gun violence awareness as well. This is my friend I met Butterfly over a year ago, and her story just touched me of how she was a survivor. Unfortunately, my son couldn't be a survivor. I couldn't sit on here and tell you about my 16-year-old being a survivor of gun violence, because unfortunately he was not. So steps need to be taken in the community.
Where he got shot at?
He got shot in the Pratt City area, up by the Pratt City, the new Pratt City.
What's on his face? Where he got shot at the area he got shot
He got shot in the face, exactly where you got shot at. So
he got shot in the face exactly where I got shot at.
Yeah.
And it went through his back of his head.
Yes. And that was the hardest thing, is the ongoing investigation. And that's the hardest thing, to have to go identify your son and look down on your child and know that he was brutally beaten and killed, and then rolled around until he died. They were so evil as to how could you ride a child around. These were grown people we're talking about, who did this to my son. And I just wonder, what was on your mind that day? What made you, what could have the city have done? What could a community have done as a whole differently? Because I know the city knows something, and they're not going to speak about it because they often say snitches get ditches. And in my opinion, snitches don't get ditches. It's just bad people out here doing a bunch of bad shit, and you don't want to have justice served for you, or you don't want to go to jail for some shit that you done that was wrong. So that's how I'm shedding light on it. Snitches don't get ditches. It's a bunch of people in the community where you shut your door, shut your curtain, and you turn the other cheek. Well, I'm not Jesus. I can't turn the other cheek. I haven't made it there yet. I'm spiritually inclined, but I'm not Jesus. Don't try me.
Amen.
I just try to be an advocate. I've been an advocate over 20 years. I started in the West End area of helping tutor the young kids. When West End Academy first opened, my son was the first group to attend kindergarten in West End Academy. And the community of West End, that's always gonna be my foothold and my stronghold because that's where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I had to move to the Pratt City area because of a better job. I'm a single parent, and the money was enough for me to take care of me and my kids financially. And I'm also a domestic violence survivor.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that's going on, I'm a part of it, and especially in the West End community.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel compelled
To do something.
to do something
Have
about it.
you have spoken up a lot during the situation? You have still been involved a lot during this situation. When baby girl, the baby, like they have Alzheimer's class,
Yes,
she when her incident happened, she stopped coming.
right. Normally,
She shut down on
being
the
a
group
grieving
and
mom,
everything.
you will shut down. It just takes love and compassion from friends and family, from everybody to help you get through when you suffer the loss of a child. That's a really big thing, Ebony, when you lose a child. When I lost my son, I became empty. Empty. Just lost for words. Couldn't sleep. Didn't even want to be in that area anymore because it wasn't even 3 blocks
From where you got from
from
they find the body.
no, it wasn't 3 blocks from our house. It wasn't even a mile from where he was found. And I often used to ride that interstate, but I find myself going all the way around so I don't have to go
That way.
that way. And I don't even go through Pratt City anymore because it's just memories. It's just hurtful. Every time I go through that, I have to reenact July the 23rd every day of my life.
July 23rd.
July the 23rd.
And my birthday, July 25th.
And that's my niece's birthday. And
But we're gonna party for
yep,
them
he
this
was
year.
killed on the 23rd, which was a Saturday. And I was notified that Monday morning, which was July the 25th.
Huh?
Yeah. So he stayed in the mortuary under John Doe for 2 days. And you would think the citizens of Birmingham know me well throughout the
Wait a
city.
minute, wait. What they had to get somebody identified about us or
I don't know. I didn't even get to identify the body. I only identified the body with a picture. I was told that they don't actually let you see the body no more. They do a picture, but I felt like it was something going on that really happened to my son that day, as to the reason why I couldn't actually see his body. So it's an ongoing, and yes,
okay, but I know we're gonna kinda get at the ongoing investigation part because it's still
right,
paperwork and stuff.
right. And as far as what I talk about is what I know to be true.
Yeah.
It's not only my intuitions, but when you're spiritually inclined and you're God's faithful servant, He's not gonna lead you wrong. So actually, I knew from the first gunshot to the time he was put on side of the road. I felt it as a mother, and I know every mother who's lost a child can tell you that they felt the same thing. They knew it. They just knew something
Wasn't right.
wasn't right.
So how you been feeling the family? And I got a question I wanna ask you.
Okay.
I wanna ask.
X.
I ain't talking about just you, I'm talking about in general, because I got to get more than one opinion on it.
Okay.
But this question really been on my mind for a few days. But like with your son, and when first was going through the changes and stuff like that, and we was in class, you had your breakdown and stuff, whatever.
Right.
And so you was like, you just wanted to know what happened to your son. You just wanted to know what happened to your son.
Right.
And I want to ask you, because I'm trying to get my words right, y'all. I know I'm trying to get my words right. So I'm just trying to ask you, like, because that was July, August, October, November, December. Okay, so 6 months.
It's not even been 6 months. The 23rd, it'll be 6 months.
Okay. So 5 months ago. You still ask that question? Like you want to know what happened?
Yes, I honestly would like to know what happened. And when I started asking questions in the Pratt City area, not even a month after I buried my son, my house was broken into and vandalized. Um, Everything that I had worked for the past 2 years of us staying there, it was gone in a blink of an eye. 4, 5, 60 inch flat screen TVs. They stole aquatic fish and fish tank. They
Oh what?
Yes, aquatic fish. They're fish that my son had just purchased for me before he passed from California, and
I
he
can't push
knew
them back out. Go
he
ahead.
knew I loved the fish so well. When he would go out and cut grass, he would buy me a fish every time he cut grass, and the fish is like $60 plus more. And we ordered those, and that's what he was. That's what they was doing with their money, trying to save their money. And do the good. Do the right thing. You know how I raised them, but I noticed when I started asking questions that like I said, the house was broken into, it was vandalized, my dog got stabbed in the head.
Cause I got I think it's Karen Davenport on here, and she was like, so Miss Karen, you said yes, of course it matters, right?
Hmm.
So I want to ask Miss Karen, yeah, let me get what's your name, Miss Sadie with the recipients. I got your thing. She said, sound like somebody trying to intimidate you.
Yeah, they was trying to intimidate me, but I knew all of that as well, because about me even raising awareness about my son, they didn't realize the depths of how close me and my kids are as being a single parent. Me and my kids are always together. We always talking. We're friends, and I'm their mother because I'm the only source that they have to talk to. So mm, Kavas and I shared the same relationship. He actually always used
How
to
he was
tell
16.
16. He would be 17 next month, February
February.
24th.
Okay.
That's his birthday. He for Pisces. But I knew all the time, even down to what's going on. Nobody has to tell me,
So ain't
because
nobody,
and nobody told me
nothing.
anything. It's what
Nobody called the
No,
police
it's
department.
what's confirmed. What he showed me in dreams and during meditation, and it's a lot of stuff. 2 days after I identified his
I think
body,
I remember you talking about
that was
that.
the first. Yeah, that was the first dream when he came to me and told me I had to come to you and show you what they did. And followed by that, it was pictures of the car he showed me, the people that was in the car. So that's how the police was able to get who they got, going on a mother's intuition, but a correct intuition.
Mm.
So let me just put that out. Everything that I shared, is confirmed, and it's a mom's intuition, well as a mom's worst nightmare. Your son leave home to go to a barbecue, and you don't get to see your son no more until the next Thursday when he's sent to the funeral home.
Mm.
So a lot of people, they can say what they want to say, but a mom's grievance. I wouldn't wish that on no other mom, and I want to reach out to all the other grieving moms in the city. To see how they feel. If it's just to talk to them, if it's just to say a prayer with them, it's just to console them, because you need the world when something happens to your child. And not only the world, you want the world to know, you want the community where you stay to understand and know. Because if it was your child, what if it was your child? Would you want somebody to turn the other cheek, or would you want someone to notify law enforcement and tell them what you know? Throughout that day, I thank God that it was. a witness and that came forward as to she saw, riding down the road and you saw what happened to my son. I mean, it's just horrific for me to just sit here and just have to voice this, over my son's passing, and me having to, after they vandalized the house, I'm having to get the things, that I can salvage to try to make a home at the next point when you go in there and violate. I mean, who steals canned goods? Who steals food? Who steals dead kid stuff? Who steal live kid stuff? I mean, they stole shoes. They stole all his shoes, all his brand new clothes I had just bought. They stole my 12 and 13-year-old shoes and clothes, everything I had just bought. You went through, I mean, I got pictures. They just went through and just vandalized, you know. So I mean, that's cold hearted. We didn't bother anybody. I worked 16 hours a day, and the most they saw me was getting in that car, going to work, or getting in that car, or getting out the car, coming home. I just don't know how a community could sit around and know something and won't speak out. So, helps, to get to know the community, get to know who your neighbors are, finding out how y'all feel, how can we come together as grieving moms? How can we come together as a community? How can we come together as individuals to ensure 23 is not like 22?
What you looking at me?
I'm just saying, because it's just a lot of hurt. I can't even go back to work because I'm often thinking about him. I have to take medication too for sleeping, for getting up, just to do daily tasks. And that's not right. You shouldn't put a burden like this shouldn't be put on no mother. And I thank y'all for all the prayers and everything. But I just think how I will heal is when my strength comes from the community as being a whole again. We got to do something about this gun violence. We got to get a hold on it.
They legalized so everybody can
They legalized it, but
I'm
they're
just saying
not.
they getting worse and worse.
If you have a heinous crime or you can't are not allowed to have a firearm, you're gonna go to prison. Legislation has already made that to where that's what's gonna happen. Not being able to have a permit to me is unjustifiable. I mean, everybody should have a permit to bear arms. I know this is the United States. I understand that we got freedom of speech, freedom. We got rights, but want to have the right rights. Want to go by doing stuff right because, in fairness, if they catch you with the gun, you're going to prison. Alabama ICE was infiltrated back when the Clintons was in office, and it's 5 years mandatory sentence if you're caught with a firearm and it's not registered. And now, if you caught with a firearm, you don't supposed to have a firearm. You're gonna get about 15 years. So they did it to help us in the black community, but also to hinder us because if most of you riding around with a firearm and you get pulled over, you're going to prison. It's mandatory.
I think I hit the right button and thank you, Jesus. I've been trying to get the right button for long. That's what I've been doing, y'all. I apologize.
I didn't know what you was over there doing.
I'm looking at these comments.
Okay. You want to read some off? Anybody got any
questions? I can't. They keep moving too fast on here. Somebody, Karen Davenport said they wanted to do CPR on her brother or something about some fentanyl. Wait a minute. It's too easy to get a gun, and I don't like that. No, they ain't doing that but setting up traps for us to kill each other.
Right, it's a trap.
Yeah, we already kill each other anyway. Yeah, they just done made it easy.
Right.
I can. No, I don't need to make you no monetize it, baby. Say with the receipts. Now, and I am not sure that you knew if you lose a child to any kind of violence, the government has to pay for funeral expenses.
Oh, we know that. We know the state does all that.
I teach a lot of
But
types of stuff and just give info. I posted it on Facebook. Okay, dear Miss Sade, SADE with the receipts. Tia Harris, I would want to know who and why they did it. I wouldn't necessarily want to know the manner of it, but who did it and why they did it. How old was he?
he was 16. He just turned 16 in February. And from what I know, these are grown people. These are not children who initiated it. It was a grown woman. You know, I don't know who she was used by or who offered her something to get him out the house, but
I wish I did.
she was one. She's grown. She's an adult.
Okay.
So, capital murder, and she's facing a death penalty. I don't know if it's going to be by lethal injection or the electric chair, but it's going to be one. Under Alabama law, it falls under one of those two categories.
Some
The death penalty, capital murder.
the one that got incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ain't getting into all that,
Well,
that legal stuff.
Right.
You ain't gonna be pulling up my page and something, have me on the witness stand.
Right, you can't be on.
No,
you
I'm just messing with
Right, you can't be on the witness
stand.
stand. They got him. I thank God for the text messages. Like I said, man, my son was so close.
The text message in the phone,
And the text messages from the girl telling him exactly what she was and what
yeah, I
it
remember
needed.
saying that in
Yeah,
class.
then you had
lured them to the thing.
Yes, and then the thing
And did
about
she
that,
say something to you after that or something?
you wouldn't say nothing to me. You blocked me on Facebook.
Yeah, okay.
But my thing is, you already had done the deed, and you left him on the side of the road and shortly went to the West Side Precinct. That was to kind of save yourself, but Mama Bear was right behind it. I was on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was on it. I was even on it after the text messages, when you text messaging him and telling where you are and who you got in the car. See, most of these young people, that's what they fail to realize. They take everything to social media. So, in all fairness, you got yourself caught because you went before social media with it. And then you try to go erase the text message. Everybody know that each of these platforms are ran by the police. Everybody know that each of these platforms, FBI. Everybody's always watching. Y'all watching us, somebody watching y'all, and it goes on and on. So they knew everything. And then satellites. You know, they got these satellites that can beam down to the moment where you said you was.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I think that, got my husband.
Right.
With that cell phone, he still had his cell phone.
Right.
That he had.
And I hate that. I hate you had to endure what you had to endure, but I'm glad that God spared you.
Amen.
And you have a story and a testimony, and you have a journey. And some journey are easier than others, but I can just imagine, you know, what you went through, heartfelt. You know, I pray for y'all. When we go to class, I pray. I forgot, Lord, forgive me. I forgot to pray and ask God to give me a peace of mind and a comfort while I go on live with y'all. I know I prayed before I came on here not to cry, because not a day go by that I don't cry. But in order for y'all to hear my story, I couldn't cry.
She couldn't cry with me.
I couldn't cry because if I did, we had to redo the YouTube. You know what I mean? It's senseless. All I want to know, what are we gonna do as a community? What are we gonna do with our children? We're gonna keep letting them be a menace, or
Well,
we
I
gonna try
don't
to be a mediator, evident
You
in
could,
between. I mean, what we gonna do?
I mean, we could try TRY capitalized. Try to do. You can mediate. You can speak. You can talk. You can do everything you want to your face, sir. But each here and each day got a mind they own, and it ain't right. Their minds ain't right. Their hearts ain't right. They ain't got no morals. They ain't got no value. They don't respect shit.
Right.
They don't even respect themselves.
Right.
So what you mean? What we gonna do? Shit, I'm going in the hospital to get dogs. They disrespect as hell out here.
Right. I understand that, but we like a
Yeah.
community. Like when we was growing up, your mama could say something to me.
Oh,
I
you
better
can't
not
do
say
nothing
I
right
better
now.
not say nothing to your mama. Just like now, where I live. If my adults see my kids doing something, I
Mhm.
want you to put them in their place. I don't want to be that mother, that woman that come out and cuss you out just because you are trying to do something positive, be a positive affirmation in my kids' life. You know, it takes a village, and I'm one of them mothers, and I'm one of them parents. If I see you doing something, I'm gonna try to kind of minimize it. You know, that's why I work with my boys, my youth on Saturdays with Heroes in the Hood. You know, we took a trip about 2 weeks ago. We went to the Civil Rights Institute, and for my group of boys to see what has been done to us, and then we got to move forward, it changed their heart. Because if you go downtown and you go to the Civil Rights Institute and you see how we was done as a people, it should try to shed some light on you to kind of make you want to change, make you want to love black people. Because I love my black people. I love them. I know sometimes they don't do the right thing, but I still love them because I'm black. I just want the best for our community. I don't want nobody keep coming in telling us what we got to do with our kids without ensuring that we doing the right thing by our kids. I mean, it's a lot of kids in the city of Birmingham. Parents know they tote guns. Parents know drugs in the house. Parents know food ain't in the house. They leaving these kids.
That ain't just Birmingham.
I mean, but
everywhere.
right, that's everywhere. But we live in Birmingham.
Yeah, it's getting
And
outrageous.
I done seen a lot of it. It's a lot of kids that I done came across Birmingham in all the years that I've been here that I fed, let them take a bath, wash their clothes, because either no one that was at home or no one cared. So I try to be kind of the big mama of the community. To help the kids because kids are not responsible. They only can get what we give them. So why not give them love? A lot of these kids, that's the number one thing they're not getting. They're not getting love. I tell my kids 100 times a day I love them. I go all in their room. I'm in their personal business. I'm kissing on them. I'm loving on them. I'm laying in the bed. Do we want to watch TV? What we gonna eat today? What we want to cook? What do we want to do as a family? You know, it's just about sharing light. Because if all of us staying right, if all of us staying, somebody gonna fall. And it's gonna be them people that's in the community that just that's not with us. And I don't want to live in a community where my house ever get burnt again, I'm broke in again, that no one knows. Everybody's shutting their door. You so busy about what I'm working for and why I got in there to you want to come in there. If it's like that, you get you a job and you make sure that your house is taken care of and your responsibility.
That's what people really can't worry about their own business.
Right.
But so what the name of your page you been starting?
The name of my page that I'm finna start is Kavas Movement. I'm naming it after my son because I'm trying to get a legacy. Well, I'm getting a legacy in his name to raise awareness for youth gun violence. It's not gonna stop here. We're going to Atlanta here soon and be an advocate in Atlanta. We got an Atlanta office. We got a couple of offices, that's in Atlanta. We're trying to start a couple of them in Birmingham.
Just running one in Jasper.
Yeah, one you was telling me about the one in Jasper.
I was locked up with the girl. One of the girls worked down there.
And what I want to do, I want to meet some of these big advocates that's against it. You know, I'm hoping to work with Aaliyah, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, to bring something to Birmingham for to stop the youth violence. If it ain't nothing but bringing more police officials to Birmingham to help them, because those police, they got a family too. They don't want to die in the line of duty trying to help nobody. They got stuff out here bigger than the police. They shooting at the
Yeah.
police. They killing them. I mean, all the
So,
police is not bad. I can speak for them. You know, especially for the
yeah.
ones in Birmingham. I can speak for the ones in Birmingham because they're pretty solid. You know, and most of them know me. You know, as far as just giving back, just feeding the homeless and just tutoring in the schools and just everyday life. You know, you don't know who you meet out of uniform. You know, everybody has a job. Everybody has
Hey man.
responsibility. It is to me. So I just
So
wanna.
what?
That's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I just wanna shed light on, and you know, just make a movement. And I need the men as well. You know, men can start a revolution, to help start a revolution. You know, just to say they're tired. You know, we need our men more.
Need the man to step up more.
Right, they need to step up more. That's what I'm looking forward in 23 for the men to step up. You know,
Okay.
just not only the women, because we can only do so much. But a man's
So,
voice is endless.
so we got something. So we all know who Akita is now, and we all know her story now. So when we check back in with Akita to see what's going on, y'all won't be no strangers. Y'all already know who y'all talking with and dealing with. So that was basically like an introduction, so y'all could get used to seeing her face, and y'all will know what she's moving forward and trying to do. If it's any men that want to step up or volunteer for positivity, then please reach out. And with that, I share. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and letting us share. And with that, I share. I love y'all.
I love y'all too.
Take the Lord with you
Amen.
and have a blessed day.